Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today, we're cutting straight to the chase on achieving success, but we're taking maybe the strangest route possible.
Right.
We're not going to focus on how to win.
Yeah.
We're going to focus on how to stop losing.
That's it, exactly. Our source material today takes us deep into the mind of Charlie Munger, the billionaire investor, Warren Buffett's partner for decades.
And our mission is to basically uncover his ultimate cheat code, a mental model he called inversion. So if you're feeling overwhelmed by all the advice out there on how to get rich, this deep dive it's for you.
Because Munger's claim is that the shortcut is to just ignore all of that.
All of it.
And instead, you master the simple art of how to not go broke.
It's a shocking claim, really. The idea that thinking backwards, deliberately flipping a problem on its head.
It's not just a clever trick. The sources say it's the single most powerful tool for success in finance, in life, really. It's a filter that, frankly, most people just don't use.
Okay, so let's unpack that. The principle of inversion. It sounds a little bit abstract.
It does.
But Munger used it for these massive, multi-billion-dollar decisions. And the basic shift is this. Instead of asking, how do I make sure this investment succeeds?
Right. The intuitive question.
You flip it. You ask what things, what factors would absolutely guarantee this investment fails.
And that shift, that simple flip, it changes everything. It forces you to move from, optimism and hope, which is where most of us live, to just ruthlessly identifying risks. And to get why this takes so much work, we have to talk about the backwards bicycle.
This is a great story. It's a true story. From Destin Sandlin over at Smarter Every Day. He took a normal bike and he rewired it. You turn the handlebars left, the wheel goes right.
And vice versa.
Seems like a small change, but the brain, you just can't handle it.
It's a physical example of Munger's whole command. Invert, always invert.
Yeah.
So Destin gets on the bike and he face plants instantly, repeatedly. I think the source said he fell over 100 times. The brain is so hardwired for the normal way that this new logic feels, dangerous.
This is where the commitment part comes in.
Right. It took him 8 agonizing months of daily practice to finally learn how to ride this thing.
8 months just to override that muscle memory.
But here's the real lesson. The plot twist. Once he finally mastered the inverted bike, he tried to ride a normal bike again.
And what happened?
He crashed immediately. His brain had completely, irrevocably rewired itself to the inverted logic.
So this isn't just about learning a new trick.
No, not at all. It's about fundamentally changing how you process reality. Munger isn't saying you should, occasionally check for risks.
He's saying your default setting has to become the inverted one.
Yes. If you solve for not losing, winning, just sort of, it happens by default. It becomes the path of least resistance.
Like in soccer, right? The best defenders aren't thinking about scoring. They're obsessed with making sure the other team scores 0.
Exactly. And a 1-0 win is a perfectly good win. It's sustainable.
But let me push back on that for a second.
Yeah.
Doesn't focusing only on the pitfalls, doesn't that lead to being, too cautious?
That's a fair question.
I mean, if you're always worried about crashing, aren't you going too slow to actually win the race?
I think Munger would say that inversion is how you calculate risk properly. It leads to smarter bets, not fewer bets. You're not just avoiding risk blindly, you're quantifying the odds of total ruin. That's the difference between being scared and being strategic.
Okay, I see. And speaking of strategy, the source material had this fantastic analogy for this. They called it the map of doom.
I love this one. The normal map is what everyone uses. It's got one big X on it.
The treasure, the goal.
Yep. And everyone just sprints towards that X. But the inverted map, the map of doom, that's the one that's actually useful.
Because it doesn't show the treasure at all. It just shows, 50 giant skull and crossbones signs everywhere.
Exactly. It shows you all the traps, all the ways to fail, quicksand, laser sharks, you name it. The lava toilet.
The lava toilet. And your goal isn't to find the treasure. It's just to avoid all 50 of those doom spots.
Yeah, if you can do that.
If you can navigate that tiny, narrow path that avoids every single guarantee of failure, you find the treasure by default. You get there because everyone else fell into trap number 37.
So let's bring this down to a practical level for everyone listening. The sources gave us a list of these common financial traps. These doom spots.
And how to use inversion to basically build a firewall around them.
Right. So let's run through a few of these and then scale them up to bigger, higher stakes decisions.
Sounds good. We need to see how the simple idea of just not being stupid scales up.
Okay. Trap number 1. This is a classic. Impulse buying. That emotional, Gotta have it now purchase.
The inversion here is simple. Before any big purchase, you just have to pause. You ask yourself, if I don't buy this today, what better thing can I get in 6 months with this money?
So you're weighing the short-term high against a real future reward.
And the impulse almost always loses. Okay, trap number 2. Lending money to friends or family. This is a minefield.
The inversion. Only give money that you are 100% okay with being a gift.
So you just write it off mentally from the start.
From the very start. Either that, or you structure it like a real loan with paperwork, or you politely say no. You invert it from a potential loan to an immediate gift or a no.
Saves a lot of grief. Trap 3, get-rich-quick schemes. Click here for guaranteed returns.
Ah, yes. The inversion is just. If it sounds free and easy, it is guaranteed to be stealing from you.
Your money, your time.
Your data, something. Success takes work. So if you see easy, you should immediately ask, okay, where's the catch?
Okay, now let's scale this thinking up. Track number 4, but for your career. Spending all your energy climbing the ladder in a dying industry.
Ooh, that's a big one. So the inversion is, don't just ask, how do I get promoted?
Instead, you ask,
what critical skills, if I ignore them for the next 5 years, would make my entire career obsolete?
You're avoiding obsolescence, not just chasing a promotion.
Exactly. You don't want to be the world's best blacksmith in 1910.
Right. Okay, trap number 5. What the sources call diversification theater.
Huh, I like that.
You buy dozens of different stocks or funds to feel safe, but you don't actually know what you own or what the real risks are.
So the inversion isn't how many sectors should I own. The real question is, what single event, like a huge banking crisis or a war, would make all my investments crash at the same time?
Find the one domino that knocks everything else over.
Find your biggest single point of failure and fix that first.
Smart. Okay, trap number 6. Letting harmless debt just linger, like a car payment or a student loan with a low interest rate.
People think, oh, the rate is low, it's fine. But the inversion isn't about the interest rate, it's about the opportunity cost.
Meaning?
You ask, if I didn't have this monthly payment, how much cash could I be putting into something that compounds at, say, 8 or 10%?
So you reframe the debt from a small payment to a huge drag on your potential wealth.
It's a massive ongoing loss.
Okay, 2 more. Trap 7. Ignoring the small daily leaks. The $7 coffee, the subscription you forgot about.
The inversion here is to actually do the math. Pick your 3 most common low-value spending habits. Calculate what they cost you over 5 years.
With compound interest if you'd invested it.
Right, and suddenly that $7 coffee is a $15,000 problem. You've unmasked the sneaky thief.
And the final trap, maybe the biggest one of all. I'll start saving later.
The ultimate thief, procrastination. The inversion is to accept that compound interest and procrastination are mortal enemies.
It's not about how much you save.
It's about when you start. $1 today is worth so much more than $10 next year. You have to invert your priority from size of deposit to time in the market.
That list, scaled up like that, it really shows that this is all about eliminating bad decisions, not about inventing brilliant ones.
It's about building that risk firewall. And this is a habit you can train, just like the backwards bicycle. The sources even give a little challenge for it.
Right, the 24-hour inversion challenge.
Yeah, this is a great practical tool.
So for 24 hours, anytime you're about to spend money on something you don't absolutely need, you stop. You have to stop and ask the question.
If I do not spend this dollar right now, what awesome high-value asset could this dollar help me buy later?
It forces you to see the opportunity cost in real time.
It does. It makes delayed gratification a weapon. And the sources said that people who did this consistently started saving for huge goals. A down payment, a new business, way faster than they ever thought possible.
So what's the bottom line here? When we distill all of this down, Munger himself summed it up perfectly in one quote.
He really did.
Yeah.
And if you take one thing away from our deep dive today, this should probably be it. He said, "It is remarkable how much long-term advantage people like us have gotten by trying to be consistently not stupid instead of trying to be very intelligent."
That's it. That is the whole strategy. It just strips away the myth that you have to be some kind of genius to get ahead.
No.
It's mostly about just eliminating the simple, avoidable mistakes that sink almost everyone else. You don't have to be Einstein.
You just have to not crash the bicycle.
And the sources promise that if you apply this kind of thinking for, say, 5 years, you'll be financially ahead of people who are twice your age.
Because you've protected your time and your money
Right.
from all that unnecessary loss.
So today we've uncovered the power of inversion, looking at every big decision and asking, what would guarantee I fail?
And then just not doing that.
Which brings us to our final provocative thought for you to chew on. Since this whole philosophy is about challenging the normal, intuitive way of thinking. Think about your own financial path right now. How often are you still trying to ride the normal bicycle and crashing? Chasing a hot stock tip, buying something on pure emotion.
Instead of stopping, inverting the problem, and just following Munger's incredibly simple, powerful rule.
Be consistently not stupid.
That's it.
Go out there and start building your risk firewall. We'll see you next time for the next deep dive.